We are just too sweet.
All right, this is Attention Wrestling Disorder, episode
35.
35. Wow, finally.
I've been paying attention.
2 years to get to episode 35. Wonderful.
With us, it's a milestone. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, seriously.
Yep. With us, it's a
I'm
milestone.
RJ Show, the whole show, nothing but the show.
I am Mr. Elite. Chuck.
And I am the Hot Rod 521.
AKA the only guy in the world to ever watch WWE's main event. And if he ever buys the company, he'd be the only one to leave it on just so he could watch it.
Oh my God.
He keeps the lights on for him. Hey, good for him.
Yep.
Hey,
and I think you're the only other person. I just sneezed on camera. I think you're the only other person to watch Level Up. My buddy Brandon watches it. I guess only 2 people in the world watch Level Up.
No, I guess such a hater.
Here's the thing. If there's wrestling to be watched, Hot Rod 521 watches it, no matter what it is.
I know.
It could literally be. Listen, they could televise a porta potty shithole match, and Rod would watch it.
What?
I want to see what that's like. I kind of want to see what that's like.
I don't.
I might watch that just because I've never seen.
Literally 2 guys wrestling in a freaking narrow, tight fucking porta potty, shitting on each other, and Rod would watch if they called it wrestling.
Such a damn degenerate, I swear.
It's true though, when you know it.
There was a company from Japan that did a show in New York City where they were like using. It was not really in a ring; they were using the outside. I forget. I saw it in Mike Bailey's chat on Mike Bailey's Twitch.
It wasn't like Chikara or something like that because they do weird shit like that.
Maybe it was Chikara. I don't know.
It sounds like a Chikara thing. I don't watch Chikara like that, but I know a little bit about Chikara, and I feel like they do like the over the top. Like that's the company where a guy did a Hadouken and the opponent actually sold an invisible Hadouken. Like it was like a real thing.
It was. I don't remember. It was like it was Japanese wrestlers, but it was in New York City.
Sounds like a Chikara thing, but don't quote me.
They're a Chicago-based company, though.
Chikara, yeah, but I know they do a lot of like Japanese-inspired stuff. Okay. But yeah, no, the funniest thing I ever saw on Chikara was a guy giving another guy a Hadouken, and the guy actually somehow sold it and took a damn bump for it.
So where do we start? Because a lot has been going on since our last. I mean,
well, here's where we start because there's 2 important things happening. Before we get into any of that, there are 2 things we need to touch on.
Okay, cool.
So, first one, happy Super Bowl Sunday, world. I was actually gonna wear my Jets shirt because that's like the one thing me and Hot Rod actually agree on is that we're Jets fans, even though we both agree that they're also a terrible team. Rod hates to admit that, but he knows I'm right. What'd you say?
Yeah, I mean, they actually improved the season. I mean, they
still fucked it up, though.
Freaking, yeah, I know, because we don't got a good quarterback.
Look, oh, wait a minute, I'm going to pull
let the Jets get a good quarterback. Watch what happens.
Up at Radio J Sleeping, and then here's where we're going to wake him up, because also this upcoming week happens to be RJ Show's birthday.
What? Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
you're getting older. Woohoo!
So how old are you now? Like 85, bro? How old are you now?
98. No, I'm 40, I'm going to be 44.
So AARP is knocking on your door. Got it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
You're not getting those AARP cards yet, are you?
You know what? I have gotten AARP stuff in the mail.
Oh Lord.
Oh boy, that means you're next, Hot Rod.
Yeah, he's next.
How old are you now, Roddy boy? What are you, 60 now?
Yo, you're hilarious.
He's 83, which makes me 78.
You know I like doing the show with you guys? You both keep me young. And I appreciate that.
That's fun. That's good to know.
What'd you say?
What'd you say, Rod? I stepped over you as always.
No, I was like, yeah, that's good to know.
You got to keep me young. Thank you. Thank you for being old man so I can be youthful.
Well, Rod, you're in a different angle. Your bed is in a different angle today.
I'm not in my bedroom, in my game room.
Oh, that's why.
He was playing Switch.
It's like, and he's laying down.
I'm hanging out with my pops right now.
Your pops is in town?
No, my pops.
I knew what he
actual pops.
Totally knew what he meant too. I
thought he meant his dad, but I know he was just. It's funny too, because right before he came on the camera, he was showing me his pop collection. For the record, these are the only pops I have, and half of them are my girlfriend's.
I have 0 pops. I want pops.
I don't have a place for them, and that's an addiction I don't need. I have an addicting. I collect. I'm a hoarder. I collect shit. I have more vinyls. I know what to do at this point because in the last year and a half, I've bought in like nothing but vinyls. Like my entire life savings has gone to that, and I now know where to put them. It's bad.
You are the vinyl. You are obsessed with vinyl. My buddy, I was looking for my buddy's birthday in December. I was looking for pops like Star Trek pops, but I could not find a Picard pop.
I don't think they make. I'm sure they make them, but I've never seen them. I don't pay attention to like the vinyl pop thing.
Pop, but it was like $500 or something.
That's a lot of money. Yeah, a lot of money. Some of those things.
But all right, so yeah.
Well, let's get into it. We acknowledged your birthday. We acknowledged the Super Bowl. Go Eagles!
Me.
Yeah, I agree. Go Eagles.
Wow, we actually agree. We actually agree on football.
Oh, did you say football? Excuse me.
We'll let him take a nap. Okay. Rod, you're the only one who hasn't taken a power nap yet on these because you have no interest in what we're talking about.
Oh, you mean like when we say the word impact? Let's talk about impact, right? No, we will talk about impact though, but
we can. I don't care.
But
again, you know what? You guys can discuss impact. I'll keep my mouth shut.
I don't want to go there first though because you have the Royal Rumble.
How about this? How about we discuss this first? The unfortunate passing of Jay Briscoe.
I agree. Yes, rest in peace, Jay Briscoe. Very sad stuff. Very unfortunate. He's like one of my.
I ordered his T-shirt, so I should be getting it within like the next week or so.
I know. I need to order one. I keep forgetting to get one.
I'm glad that they lifted the dumb ban that they put on for not even letting them have the tribute when it counted, then doing it a week later. It was still a great tribute match with Mark and.
The tribute show was amazing. If you watched it on YouTube or Honor Club, it was amazing.
Yeah, it was good. It was emotional for sure. I'm a big Briscoe fan, so it sucks. Like that's so sad.
Yeah, like
I feel for Mark Briscoe big time now.
Yeah, I hope it's but his daughter's on the road to recovery, so that's a positive sign.
That's good. Yeah. And Briscoe, they did that match. They did that match well, like as if Jay Briscoe was still alive. That's how the way that match went, like with all those spots.
Excuse me. Yep.
The blood, it was like it was the typical Mark Briscoe match.
It was a standard Briscoe match. Is what you wanted, and everybody got what they wanted. Mark won. That's what it's about. You could tell that was an emotional match for him. He was very emotional out of that match. You could tell, like it just, and it's sad too because like I get sad when like people young like that pass away because like Jay Briscoe's only a couple years older than I am, so I feel like it's sad when we lose people around our age range.
Yeah,
it's crazy that he was in his 30s.
He was 30. Yeah, I think he would have been 39 this year.
He looks older than me with that gray beard.
Be grateful you don't have grays yet.
I do.
But minimal grays. That's all right. Mine are starting to come into a little bit, but my beard, you don't really see them, so that's a plus. So I still look young.
Those two, like, I didn't even know, like, is Sandy Fort real?
Yeah, it's in Delaware. It's a legit place in Delaware.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like I don't really know Delaware that well.
You know what's in Delaware, and I need to get there? The Dogfish Head Brewery. Derek and my friend Brian go every year, and they don't invite me. What a bunch of dicks! What a bunch of dicks!
There used to be a couple of bands.
Podcast. I want to hear you call them there.
Oh, I call them dicks all the time. It's fine.
They're just, I mean,
my homies. They'll maybe hear this, but they won't take it personally. They know I'm kidding.
The Briscoes were like, I don't know. Would you say, like they were and they weren't. if they like a modern day, but not really, kind of a combination between the Bushwhackers and the Dudleys in a way, but not really.
They were their own thing.
Yeah, I mean,
they were kind of their own thing. I see where you would get the comparisons on both ends, but I also see where they're their own thing.
The acumen of the Dudleys and the unique charisma of the Bushwhackers.
Yes. The thing is, that is a one team, even though they have the name, and I don't even know if they'd be able to use it there, but I don't think in a Vince world, the Briscoes would not have worked in WWE.
They wouldn't have won as many tag titles as they did in Ring of Honor. That's for sure. They was in WWE.
Well, apparently
I don't know if they would have been taken seriously in WWE.
Well, they would have made them comic relief. That's the problem. Yeah. And also, too, apparently they had a tryout at one point, and they didn't sign because they didn't find them cosmetically appealing. Oh. That was the reason they were told. Apparently.
I guess Bastion Booger was cosmetically appealing.
I think for the era. I guess they weren't going for that era, that style. I forget what year it was, but it was probably at least 10 years ago.
Oh, I guess the Boogeyman wasn't cosmetically appealing either, or was cosmetically appealing. I mean, come on, that's ridiculous.
That's what I heard. I don't know how true any of this is, but that's like the.
I mean, hey, he had a great run in that early 06 pay-per-view wins over JBL and Booker T on major pay-per-views.
Are you talking Boogeyman?
Yes.
Rod
was the biggest fan. Rod was the biggest fan of the Boogeyman ever.
Oh, pipe down over there.
He was missing teeth. He's missing teeth just like Mark, but no, not cosmetically. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's dumb. What's his name? George the Animal Steel.
Cosmetically appealing. Way different era, homie. I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm saying that was such a different era.
I know, but I
agree. Yeah, no, okay.
Hypocritical. It's still hypocritical. Anyway, I mean, it's sad, but it's true. Like he literally did live and breathe and lived and died in Ring of Honor. He
literally except for the short little run that they did in Impact, whatever that they did.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Yes, they did.
Except for that little run in between everything and assorted like indie stuff, they never worked for anybody about Ring of Honor.
You're right. They did do what, like 2 months in Impact? Because I know they were the champions.
Yeah, back when like Impact and like Ring of Honor would exchange like talent, compete on each other's show. And you know, they did a little bit of work for New Japan too.
They did work. They did like subsidiary stuff, but like as a company, they pretty much worked for Ring of Honor for 20 years.
Did they ever do MLW or no?
I don't think so.
No.
They're company loyal. They were company guys.
But if you think of Ring of Honor,
you don't find that nowadays anymore.
No, because people just care about themselves. They don't care about the companies they work for.
And the money, and it's sad.
And actually, as much as I hate on him for being a stale act and being annoying, you know who's the epitome of that?
Who?
Rod's favorite wrestler ever, John Cena.
I do. Hell yeah.
Rod, you are such a mark for John Cena.
He is.
John Cena's the man, but that's besides the point.
John Cena and I have something in common, though.
400 years.
Hold spot. John Cena and I finally have something in common. Hold spot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I was watching that match, and I was looking. I'm like, Cena, you can use a little sod on the fairway back there.
I'm surprised that he even wanted to go out that way, because it's like now it's a fan's dream to like point that out.
Right, because people are haters because he's been around so long. Well, here's the thing about John Cena: as much as I hate on him, he's at that point where he's been around for so long that now it's like all the adults watch wrestling. I watched John Cena when I was a kid, and then we look at ourselves like we're already adults when John Cena was a thing.
Well,
that's why we don't like him, because we were adults already.
I was already like, what was that? I was already out of college when John Cena was a thing.
When he debuted, I was in 10th grade, so I was already in.
Hell, I was like a few months back from my first employer when Cena debuted.
And Rod missed it because he was away.
What was that? He debuted.
I was back in time for Cena's debut.
What he did?
You were born from day one.
2004.
He debuted in 2006.
I missed the first 2 ever WWE drafts because I was deployed, but I was back in time to see his debut.
Okay. Well, wait, what year though was that?
2002, right?
02.
Okay, so I guess
02.
that was I graduated college in 2002. Okay, so yeah, it was okay. So I graduated college when he debuted. Okay.
Yeah, not too bad. Right.
But wow, that makes
I was in 10th grade. Because apparently I'm young.
Yeah, you are 30.
I graduated high school the same month that somehow JBL was a world champion.
There are 23-year-olds now in this universe that were born in the year 2000.
I know, and I work with all of them. It's crazy. All my coworkers are all like that age, and I'm like, oh my god, they're so young.
There are babies that I've seen that are now in their 30s, and it freaks me out.
And one thing I will always remember about JBL's WWE title reign is when they were in 2004, when they were in Iraq for tribute to the troops, he let me hold the title. Like the legit WWE championship at the time.
Oh, you were in Iraq for that, right?
Yeah. Yo, let me tell you, they make those things look like so light the way they carry them around. Those motherfuckers were heavy.
JBL, like, actually got out of character for you? That's cool.
Yeah, he let me hold the title. I got to put it over my head and everything.
Because I thought that, like, back then, he, like, stayed, like, he stayed in character.
He was already dead by then, please.
Yeah, but you know,
don't break the news to Rod, but Kayfabe's been dead for 20 years. Guys, you got to break this down.
No one cares the troops.
No, we know JBL loves the truth, but I will say one thing. We got to break this very delicately to the hot rod.
Yes.
Kayfabe has been dead for 20 years.
Yes, I realize this.
Well, actually, someone better tell MJF that.
Oh, but I love MJF with kayfabe, so I'm going to leave it be.
Yeah.
MJF. He's great with it, so I'm going to leave it be.
MJF brings it to a whole new level, but all right, so yeah, Jay Briscoe passed, and it sucks. It's shitty. He was definitely a great one that really did not get to shine as much as, you know what I mean? He didn't.
I agree.
He didn't. Like, he had his moments in Ring of Honor, but because of that stupid thing that he was accused of, he didn't really get a fair shot either before the accident.
Unfortunately. But he did have his fortunate ROH world title runs, which he ran with great, so.
Yeah.
He did get his due diligence to a point.
Did he lose it to Roosh or Lethal?
Lethal. The first time he had to give it up because of injury. The second time he lost it to Lethal.
Okay.
Yeah. Roosh was way after.
Yeah.
Roosh was way after.
Roosh had two title runs
came against Taven.
ROH.
Yeah, but they were way later. They were like at the end of the end of like that era.
But I was watching Ring of Honor when Briscoe was champion, though. I was paying attention when Briscoe was champion.
Right, yeah. So it's probably it was
it wasn't that far apart. It wasn't that far apart.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember when Lethal was champion.
I mean, Lethal's had the belt more than once.
Yeah.
Lethal, Cole, Aries.
In truth,
Claudio.
I guess. But in truth, I think that the next thing they do, and they probably won't, but the next super card that they're having in the end of March.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it should be Lethal versus Claudio, because if anyone should represent Ring of Honor, I mean, or honestly, Mark Briscoe.
I would love Mark Briscoe to be champion.
Because that would be awesome.
But I'm curious to see, and I'm pretty sure this is probably going to get addressed when they start those tapings at the end of the month. What's the situation going to be with the tag titles?
They'll address it.
Maybe that'll be addressed before Supercard of Honor.
I'm pretty sure with these tapings they got coming up, it will be.
I'm sure.
He is going to be on. He's going to wrestle Josh Woods on Wednesday, which is great because I don't think you really get to see Josh Woods on Dynamite, and
you don't.
Obviously,
you don't see anybody on Ring of Honor on Dynamite really.
Because he hasn't watched him in a while.
I feel like you don't see many guys from Ring of Honor on Dynamite much. They're mostly on Dark and Dark Elevation.
And come on, they are on Rampage.
A little bit, yeah, that's true.
They are on Rampage. Tony Nese is
the champions, though. It's rare you see the non-champions compete on Dynamite on Rampage.
I mean, just to like go around it, just so I don't forget. I mean, Kip Sabian was going to be on Dynamite. When was the last time you've really seen Sabian wrestle on Dynamite? You've seen him on Rampage. You've seen him on Dark.
Right.
So I'm liking this. But back to, do you have anything else you want to say about Briscoe before we move on? I mean,
I think we've said what we've said. Rest in peace, Jay Briscoe.
Yeah. It's a shame because again,
reach for the sky, Jets.
Reach for the sky. And here's the other thing. Here's the thing about that. Like, I'm surprised there was never any backlash when Scorpio Sky was doing that because Briscoe was probably doing that first.
Briscoe was doing that first. I apparently found out where that came from. Apparently, Jay Briscoe. It was apparently big. Him and his family were big like Toy Story fans, so they got that from Toy Story. Hey, those are great movies.
But yeah, I gotta watch them. It's been a while. But,
speaking of which, there's a fifth one getting ready to come out apparently.
What happened?
I don't think they're gonna stop. Yeah, a fifth Toy Story.
There's a fifth Toy Story coming out.
Oh, okay, stop with it.
I want to quickly say this though. Like when you think of Ring of Honor, honestly, yeah, you got like Jay Lethal, Young Bucks, but I really believe that the first name that comes to mind are the Briscoes.
Because they wrestled the first event ever.
Which is why they were the first names for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he wasn't.
Yeah, him and Mark both.
Yeah.
Jay Briscoe is Ring of Honor.
And everybody in the tribute said that. No one that was a Ring of Honor guy had anything bad to say about Jay Briscoe. They all said that is what Ring of Honor is. They all said it. No one denied that Jay Briscoe rather, and the Briscoes in general are Ring of Honor. They are.
Yeah. And speaking of what I'm curious to see what the 2023 Ring of Honor Hall of Fame class is going to look like.
I'm curious, yeah.
Are they? I mean, I'd like Ring of Honor to branch out and do their own thing, even though it's great to see a lot of the ROH guys kind of in the mix in AEW storylines. I want Ring of Honor.
I think they will because now they got these tapings that's going to get started. I believe they will.
Good.
The detriment to that is, we got to get.
I believe you're only going to be able to watch the weekly episodes on Honor Club though.
Whatever. I'll do it if I have to.
That's fine. But I will say this.
Here's the thing: if they do it, put Bryan Danielson in Ring of Honor. If you're going, mix it up a lot.
Right? I agree. But there's one thing that you're going to hate.
What?
The commentator will be back to you.
Oh yeah, of course.
Ian Rick.
Oh,
Lord, here we go.
And his sidekick, Patrice Cold Cuts.
I don't have a problem with Cold Cuts. I have a problem with adhere to. I'm gonna call a match and not know what I'm talking about. Blah 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 blah.
It makes New Japan Strong unwatchable.
I can't stand him.
He's terrible.
Hey, you like Happy Wrestling, everybody.
Rod loves it. They made shoot Happy Wrestling. I love it.
Hell yeah.
That guy's a bad guy. Shame on you. Shut up, Rick and Nobody. Shut the hell up.
Jesus.
But thanks for getting me
to hire to be a commentator. Ryan Peterson, our former guest.
Yeah, I'd love to
take Ian Riccabotti's spot. It'd be better.
Oh, as a commentator, not as an
announcer, but he probably could do the commentary too.
Let's do it. Ryan Peterson should Tony Khan, if you're listening, wait, and I know you're not, but
Ryan Peterson,
pass this message on to Tony Khan. fire Riccaboni, hire Brian Peterson.
Oh, Lord.
Ryan Peterson for ROH commentary.
And what's his name? Brian. I can't think of. You know what I'm talking about. We had Brian on.
Yeah, I remember Brian. Either one.
Both of them. I mean, like.
Give us something. You know what I would go for? A Brian Mannix Ring of Honor commentary.
Oh, wow. That would be
Mannix commentary.
Let's see. Brian Mannix doing like any type of commentary anywhere would be fun.
I'm trying to think how that would go. Brian, by the way, we love you. This is not a jab. This is because we love you.
Yeah, he would be very. I mean, I could see him more. I mean, I hate to use. I'd see him like I'm trying to think who. He'd be more of like a Kelly Joseph. He'd be like the straight commentator, not the funny or the villain.
He would call it like he sees it. Yeah, that's what they need right now. And that's why he'd be great, because he'd be better than Rin Riccaboni, but he would do the upsides and downsides to every wrestler. He would call it like he sees it. And that's what they need. I believe in Brian Mannix as a commentator.
I believe in Brian Mannix, and I'm not trying to. And I'm not.
Brian Mannix has a lot of skills. He lacked one skill, and I say this with a little love. He could not keep our ADD intact. He failed horribly.
He can't. No one.
That's the point.
No one. I think like Rod. I don't even think Rod can control it.
Rod's as ADD as we are. Are you kidding?
All right,
Rod's as bad as we are going off on tangents.
All right, let's steer the ship.
All right, let's digress. Yes, let's
Briscoe. Mark Briscoe is going to have his second match in AEW on Wednesday, and obviously the Ring of Honor. If you want to count it, and then we'll find out more about what's going on with the Ring of Honor tag belts. But moving on, Royal Rumble, Cody Rhodes and
Rhea Ripley.
Rhea
Ripley. Yeah.
Hey, I'm happy about both finishes. I can't complain. I got what I personally, as a fan, wanted.
I'm annoyed about who her finish. I'm annoyed who it affected. One of my favorites.
Right.
Chelsea, because now Chelsea Green is losing. I mean, we're going to bring you back.
So funny right now. I'm so entertained by her right now, though.
How did you know that it was going to be a Karen thing before it even started? One of you said
because of her reaction when she got eliminated, she was doing the Karen thing on the outside.
No, because I read it on the what's name that was supposed to be her gimmick when she got what's the name.
You could tell anyway. Like she did the whole Karen thing on the outside with the ref.
But it's very un-Chelsea Green of her. I was like,
but it's not though, because if you think about it, it's the hot mess, but without the physical appearance of her being all messed up.
True.
It's kind of the hot mess without the physical appearance of the hot mess.
I don't like her losing though, because she's very. I know.
I've heard rumor mills.
Same about freaking Emma right now, man. Emma went from a tag team champion to can't buy a win right now.
Yeah, she's now what's his name? Like she's now the real life girlfriend on camera right now
of Bad Cap.
Yeah,
I mean, got a huge victory on SmackDown, surprising one too.
Yeah, you know that Gunther's going to destroy him though.
Maybe. Well,
Walter is going to destroy him because Gunther is a stupid name. Walter will destroy him.
Yes, thank you.
Surprised that Triple H.
Speaking of Walter, congratulations to him. He's now the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in the 21st century.
Thank you, Triple H.
Thank you, Triple H. I hope he never loses.
Right, because Vince hates him. Like he still be down like in NXT right now, barely getting TV time. It was up to Vince.
Well, fuck Vince.
Yeah, seriously. Well, Vince is there, but I'm not seeing his presence in the writing, and I'm happy about it.
Not yet, thank God.
If they put him back in, I quit.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I really wish
I would write a very angry letter.
Our way that if Vince would ever come back to creative, I really think there should be a fan walkout.
I think there would be, and I think if that happens, I'm gonna Rod, do you still have a copy of your angry letter that you sent to Diet Pepsi for that commercial?
Yes.
Can I get a copy of that in case this happens so that I can paraphrase it and change it for WWE?
Just change it to WWE and Vince McMahon.
Oh, no. I can only imagine the profanities and the anger that Rod used in that letter against Diet Pepsi.
What? Okay, so could someone fill me in on what happened with Diet Pepsi?
Rod, you want to take this one? This is your story to tell.
Yeah, so basically, Diet Pepsi made this like New England Patriots commercial about how they drafted a Diet Pepsi machine. And out of all the teams in the damn NFL, they had to show it scoring a touchdown on the New York Jets. So, yeah, I sent Diet Pepsi a nice profanity laced email about it.
I wish you could find that. I wish you could find that.
I had to look because it's been like forever. This was literally like at least like freaking 15 years ago.
Okay, so I think this episode should be called the Diet Pepsi Incident.
Oh my God.
Happy Super Bowl Sunday at the Diet Pepsi.
Yeah, congrats to Cody coming back on the Rumble. You know who really got made to look strong in the Rumble though, despite him not winning it?
Who?
Liv Morgan.
Oh,
Liv
yeah.
Morgan. Well, him too, but more Liv.
I just have to point out something.
She almost won the Rumble, even missed it.
She was the second entry. But let me say something that's kind of Royal Rumble related. Yeah, Gunther's still Gunther, but Piper Niven's returns. Yet Walter can't be Walter, but Piper Niven's returns.
I'm happy that she got her name back, but
I mean, because it's not like he got named after a German, like a Nazi war commander or anything. Oh wait, he did.
Yeah, but I mean, go back to being Walter because I mean, I just liked it better as Walter, and Piper Niven obviously better as Piper Niven's. That
I'm glad.
And here's the thing too. About the Women's Rumble that most people may or may not realize. Since 2019, the person who has been the runner-up has still gotten to WrestleMania and gotten a title match.
Since what year?
Since 2019.
Oh, that's true.
The only female runner-up of the Rumble who did not get a title shot at WrestleMania that same year was Nikki Bella.
Oh, so...
True.
So basically, you're saying they did something right? What?
So if they continue that trend this year, then Liv is probably winning the Elimination Chamber.
You're saying Nikki Bella never got a chance to wrestle and for a title?
I'm saying she's the only female Royal Rumble runner-up who didn't compete for the title at WrestleMania that same year.
Actually, we should actually segue into the chamber with that. Let me get the matches up. I don't even know who's officially set up for the chamber yet.
All right, well, why are you doing that? Because 2019, Charlotte was the runner-up, and she still got the title match at WrestleMania. 2020, Shayna Baszler was the runner-up. She still got a title match at WrestleMania. 2021, Rhea Ripley was the runner-up. She still got a title match at WrestleMania. Last year, Charlotte again was the runner-up, and she got a title match at WrestleMania.
But you know what? That you mean the people who you'd actually want to see wrestle and that actually can wrestle? You mean like the women who, you mean like when Charlotte Flair beat that awful, horrible, poor excuse Nikki Bella? What? Because Nikki Bella's awful? What?
Incorrect. I'm going to strongly disagree. In ring, she's not great, but I love the Bellas. Again, I will say this forever. They're beautiful.
I mean, she's not great, but people act like she's like the worst wrestler. It's like, have you not watched Eva Marie wrestle?
I think it's
hey, you know it's bad when they put Nia Jax in the Rumble.
What was wrong with Nia returning?
Have you watched Nia Jax in the ring?
Yes.
I'm still getting over the fact that she yelled "my hole" on live TV.
It was
funny.
How
many females has she injured?
Amazing.
You know what? Relax with that because I've heard interviews. She was never, they never, said she was unsafe. Only fans have made dumb comments like that.
I'm just saying,
have you seen the amount of females she's injured?
Okay, so that means Seth Rollins shouldn't wrestle either.
No one's saying she should wrestle. I mean, yeah, okay. His list is nowhere near as long as hers. Nowhere near as long.
You are such a mark, Rod Hancock.
Because he kind of ruined. Well, he kind of, in a way, ruined Finn Balor's career, because when was the last time Finn Balor had the titles? Since he had it for like 24 hours.
You can also blame Vince for that too.
That's true. Balor will be a world champion again. Give it time, but check it out. Judgment Day is like one of the hottest things right now, and it's awesome. Yeah. It's not as hot as like the Bloodline right now, but it's still pretty hot.
It's not because of Finn. It's not because of Priest. Sadly, it's not because, well, maybe partially Rhea, but it's because of that annoying, irritating. I mean, good job being hated, Dominic Mysterio. It's because of the whole prison gimmick. That's why.
Right. Hey, it gets them legitimate heat, and that's what they need.
Yeah,
But the thing is, what's good about it is that even though he's getting go-away heat, because they're associated with him, they're getting legitimate heat. Like, you want to dislike them, and that's what's great.
But here's the thing, though. They're getting the right heat. He's bringing the right heat. Because the gimmick since the whole incident with Christmas, I mean, like his one-liners about being in prison, even though it was like for a few hours.
It was hilarious.
It's great. It's actually good, you know.
It's actually entertaining, exactly.
So I'll give him that. I will give him that.
It did what it needed to do, and we can't complain and hate on that.
What would he say, you know? Because you took me out of the Royal Rumble. If this was prison, you would have gotten got or something like that.
That was funny.
Yeah, it was. I honestly think that match should have been Rhodes versus Mysterio, not Rhodes. Even though Rhodes versus Balor is a good thing to see.
I want to see it though.
I mean, it's honestly, yes, it is a better match. Rhodes versus.
I think
Balor.
Eventually you will see a Balor Rhodes feud, though. I do think that's coming. I think that's actually going to come.
They needed I don't know where maybe Styles injured.
I don't know.
Yes.
Why wasn't he in the Royal Rumble?
Oh, he's
injured. He got hurt at a house show, so he's injured.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He did. Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. Yes, he did.
I mean...
And Rod, it's called a live event. Get it correct.
Oh, my God. House show, I haven't seen damn thing.
No, it's called the live event. Be correct.
Oh, I guess the same damn thing.
We're in the podcasting business. Get your lingo correct.
Oh, my God. It's the same thing, you degenerate.
Stupid. Live event. Well, the guy who ran the live events on WWE now runs them for AEW. So
yeah, it's true.
But
we're now in his world.
I love. You know what? Someone made a point on TikTok in the Wrestle Talk community, and I kind of agree. This is not the best time for Cody Rhodes winning the Royal Rumble, because of what happened at the end of the Royal Rumble and what's about to happen in the Elimination Chamber.
No, I agree.
Is not the star right now.
No, he's not. No, I saw that and I agree. No, unfortunately, and it sucks too, because if they're doing things the way they're doing it, you're gonna unintentionally turn Cody Rhodes heel. It'll be like Batista circa 2014.
It's like welcome back to AEW, Cody, where they were booing the hell out of you, and it's gonna happen again because Sami Zayn right now is the biggest thing happening in WWE.
Right. Yes, but unfortunately, with the possibility of who might buy the company, he ain't getting that championship.
We don't know that for sure.
We don't. I mean, it's going to be in Montreal. There's a chance.
You honestly think with the Saudis unfortunately being the front runner, Sammy's getting that championship.
Unfortunately, if that's the true case, then you're probably right. But I'm praying to every god in the world that the Saudis don't buy it, just because.
Same here, but unfortunately, right now they're the front runners.
Let's not be the know-it-all fans. Because of this sort of stuff. I'm thinking.
I want to
I
see
don't
what's
know.
going to
I
happen.
want to see it because I want to see it.
I want to see it too. But you got to be realistic here, also.
This is a guy who was really like pushed way down the ladder in WWE, and after the big stages, he's now like he's on top.
He should be one of the champions.
One of the most entertaining guys.
He's gold. He's fantastic.
I mean, like last year, that stupid match against that idiot from Jackass,
Johnny Knoxville. Yeah.
I mean, this is like,
miles ahead.
Race that.
Well, there two people Samuel will have to worry about at the chamber is going to be the Usos because Canada's not letting them in, so they won't be at the chamber.
Right.
Wait, why is that? Explain that to me and explain why.
They did WWE a favor last year by letting Jay in for that one SmackDown.
Jimmy Uso,
they're not getting that same treatment again.
Jimmy Uso with all his, he's not getting anything.
That's why Heyman told Jimmy to stay home next week because they're not allowed to be in Canada.
Yeah, Jay I think probably can at this point. Jimmy they're not going to let in.
No, they did WWE a favor. They're not getting that same favor again.
I guess we'll see. We'll see.
Are you the Canadian government? Do you know how it works?
You want to go Google and look it up? Go ahead. Go Google it right now.
No. What Rod is telling you that is because of his background. He has intel that we don't.
Oh, yeah, true.
Right, why don't you go look it up?
I'm totally kidding about that.
Yeah. Oh, right.
I've read. No, that's a thing. No, that's actually a thing. I read up on it.
Yeah, I get where you're
coming. That's actually a thing. That's actually a thing.
It's kind of then. I don't know. It's like, okay, well, you need the Usos for this storyline, though. This is like very.
You think they care?
I don't think they care, but you need the Usos for this storyline.
They'll find a way to work around that. They'll find a way to work around it.
You still got Solo. So
Solo Sikoa is going to beat the piss out of them.
But then who's to say KO won't show up at Elimination Chamber?
Probably will. I mean, who's to say that if Sammy doesn't win, that KO and Sammy will become a tag team again?
It's true too.
But Sammy's
possibility. And then they might beat the Usos, and that would make KO Grand Slam champion.
I hate to tell you, but Sami Zayn as champion. This is Kofi Mania again. This is the Yes Movement again.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn. I feel like if Sami Zayn doesn't win in Montreal, there's going to be a lot of rioting.
In Montreal, oh yeah, big time.
I think this is going to be, the Bret Hart Montreal incident again.
Probably.
What is it called?
The Montreal Screwjob. The
Montreal Screwjob.
Yes, I think it's going to be because Sami Zayn, he's big over there. Natalya Neidhart winning in Montreal would be a huge deal too.
Yeah. I mean, remember the whole Hart Foundation in '97? They were the baby faces in Canada and they were the heels in America. Remember that whole nonsense? Same thing.
But here's the thing.
It's not. Because Sami Zayn's over everywhere.
He did have a SmackDown. She was one of the first SmackDown Women's Champion. Or the second. No, she wasn't. She was one of the earlier SmackDown Women's Champions.
No, she was the fourth because it went from Becky to Alexa to Naomi. And then Naomi got her had to relinquish it. Alexa won it. And then Naomi won it at WrestleMania. And then Natalya beat Naomi.
Okay, so she was fourth or fifth. But she was an actual women's champion, not a diva. I mean, she was a diva. But she actually... So,
she actually won both, actually.
What?
She's currently one of the 2 females on the roster who has held both the Women's and Divas Championships.
She needs, I guess her and Charlotte would be the 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she needs, for me, I mean, she's been passed over so many times, and she has been in that division for years. I think
she's the backbone of that division. There would be no women's division without Natalya. End of discussion.
I agree. She's the the niece and daughter of
the Hart Foundation.
Yeah, the Hart Foundation, one of the greatest.
So I'm looking at the Elimination Chamber card. We're talking about that, so I could actually say, because of that circumstance, I could see either Natalya or Liv Morgan taking the Elimination Chamber.
Yes.
What would be a better? I don't know. Like what would be a better a more physical match?
Probably Natalya.
If you're looking at it from the power standpoint, Natalya. If you look at it from the athletic standpoint, Liv.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
And here's the thing too. If Rhea is able to beat Charlotte at WrestleMania, which this is a fun fact, Charlotte Flair has never lost a one-on-one match at WrestleMania.
I think,
as a matter of fact, only since Charlotte has been on the main roster, only one time has Charlotte actually been pinned at WrestleMania, and that was by Bayley in that Elimination Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania 33. Otherwise, Charlotte Flair has never been pinned or submitted at WrestleMania outside of that. And she's never lost a one-on-one match at WrestleMania.
I think Rhea Ripley's going to win because they're going to. I think she's going to take it though, and I think they're going to make Judgment Day a dominant faction.
And if Rhea does win, she will tie Charlotte for the most amount of different women's titles won in company history.
We have a problem though, because there's one woman who's not in the Elimination Chamber. But there's one woman who always gets the nod at WrestleMania. Well, actually, I think she lost last WrestleMania, so maybe. I'm talking about Ronda Rousey.
I guess you didn't hear the rumors that's circulating about her then.
Tell me. I don't.
Apparently, her and Baszler are getting a tag title shot at WrestleMania.
Good.
Okay, nothing wrong with that.
I rather.
Even though they win, that's gonna be bad for you fantasy wise. But that's besides the point.
Whatever. We're not talking fantasy wrestling right now. We're talking what would work and what would sound as a better storyline. I think you keep those two together, and you keep Ronda out of the title of the main women's title picture. Put her another title on her. That'd be fine. I'm fine with that. I am fine with that. I think the title needs to go off of Bianca.
I'm over it.
I'm over it. Yes, Bianca is now Becky and Charlotte.
Let's not go nuts now.
She is.
She's only had 2 title reigns. You guys act like she's had double-digit title reigns.
She's always the champion.
I'm bored of her already. That's the problem. I'm bored. And my ADD can only take so much.
Oh, Lord.
I am bored.
I'm over it.
Oh, Lord.
Put that belt on anybody else. I think at WrestleMania, both women should drop their titles. I love Charlotte Flair, but I think Rhea should win.
Honestly, I think...
And whoever wins the chamber, I think, should win. I think it should either be Liv Morgan or Natalya, and either one of them should be Bianca at Mania.
And I'm going to say this right now. If they're keeping the 2 titles as undisputed titles, please do it with the women's title. It doesn't make sense why they have to be separate.
Well, apparently the tag team and WWE Universal get split up.
They are?
That's the rumor mill.
Okay.
You know what I think should happen? You know what I honestly think should happen?
Their own champion.
You know what I think should happen, and it's not going to?
Go ahead.
They should have Sami Zayn win the belts. It's not the right time, but the way WWE cornered themselves, give him his run now. Give him that run, and have Cody come out and go after Zayn, and then have him go after just the one belt. and then Steve's the champion, and he loses the and Cody has the other belt.
What you could do is, what you could do is, you have Sammy win by DQ at Elimination Chamber, and then you set up Roman having to defend both titles on both night 1, night 2 of WrestleMania.
That would actually be cool. I like your idea, Ron. I like your idea.
I like that idea.
That's very New Japan too.
That is very New Japan, and also too, it also prevents a Montreal Riot.
Yes,
because you could technically have him win, even though he doesn't win the belt. He still wins by DQ. You have
don't do a triple threat match. Do have Roman
2 nights, right? Don't do it, yeah. And then have it be, somehow, they both deserve it. So rather than, and that way, also if you do it that way, Cody Rhodes doesn't lose his thunder, and Zayn keeps his.
But here's the thing.
Exactly. See, that's very smart. That's what they would do.
Do you have Roman lose 2 nights in a row?
It won't hurt him. I mean, he's been champion for how long?
At this point, it wouldn't matter because he's had the title for 2 years.
Yes.
Because it becomes predictable that he's going to lose the next night. You know what I mean?
That's silly. I get it. All right. Right.
But then it's like it's a double-edged sword because, okay, Roman wins again. But
you could do even better. You want to better that?
Sure.
Have him drop 1 belt, have him lose to Zayn at Mania because that's the bigger story, and then have him Cody lose to Reigns at WrestleMania, but then WrestleMania Backlash you have Cody beat him.
True. Are they still going to do WrestleMania Backlash?
Probably.
Possibly.
They've been doing Backlash for years, and it's always been known to be the WrestleMania Backlash. They're just making it more obvious now because fans are not as smart as they used to be.
Do you think, I guess that would work. I think Sammy's at the point where he would.
I just want Sammy to win the belt.
So do I. I think it's.
I think we all want Sammy to win the belt.
I have another problem with WWE right now, even though
you have a problem with WWE, bro. You're like the king of. I have a problem with WWE.
Here we go.
I would. You'd think I wouldn't because of how things are going, but what's the deal with Cross? Like, I don't know. He keeps constantly losing, and that's not the character.
Everybody thought that when all these guys came back, all these guys were going to get pushes, but you only could get pushes to so many people.
But that's
true. That is a problem. Then have Karrion Kross become U.S. champion. You know what I mean? Have him put another title on him. If you're not gonna push him,
I agree with. I'm trying to think who even is the U.S. champ right now. Theory. Oh, actually, that's for the title, right? Who's in that Elimination Chamber? Because I'm noticing as we're doing this, we're kind of touching on it in a very easy way.
Oh, true.
We've actually covered just about everything on the chamber except for
and Montez Ford.
Ew.
I'm happy that Montez.
It was.
I don't know, like Montez Ford.
He's going to be a star. Once they break up the Street Profits, he's getting a major singles push.
Yeah.
I don't think they should because the tag team division is horrible. And the last thing you need to do is break up any more teams.
Oh, their tag team division sucks right now.
Welcome to WWE.
You break the Street Profits up.
The tag team divisions in WWE has always gone downhill.
I know, and it's gotten worse again.
I mean, and the women's is even worse. I mean, no disrespect to them, but the fact that Team Ninja are the longest reigning women's tag team champions of either brand tells you something right there alone.
Oh, you mean how they're teasing them as heels now? On NXT?
No, how before they lost at Vengeance, how they were the longest reigning tag team champions of either brand. The main roster or NXT.
Technically, though, the way they won, the way they lost was done in a heel way, though.
Yeah, they got cheated, which is why Fallon said they're going to give him a rematch.
I'm so not with NXT right now. I try. I can't get into it.
I mean, I like the fact that Wes Lee is still North American champion. This guy
that was a hell of a mess. That was a hell of a mess.
Impact, like with Stupid Rascals, and then he goes and wins the tag team titles twice. His partner gets his career ruined by an ex, and Wes Lee just keeps going.
Hey, good. We all know that Wesley is the breakout guy of the Rascals.
You do know that MJF actually stuck up for Nash Bridges, right?
I heard that, yeah.
Jimmy Carter.
Nash Carter, whatever. Nash Bridges is that character in Don Johnson, right? Yeah, Nash Carter, whatever. Or whatever he was called in.
Sure.
You know who's the GOAT in current wrestling? MJF.
MJF is. Do we need to should we talk a little bit more about Elimination Chamber before we move on?
Yes, we're almost
the best wrestler in
hit it AEW, so yes, I will hold my MJF thoughts. So I'm looking at this US title match, we were kind of discussing that. I have a feeling Theory's gonna retain that somehow. He'll find a way to retain it.
Way to make the US title, as important as any of the other titles. I'm
just glad it's finally getting defended in the chamber.
I think Theory's going to retain. I don't see him dropping it.
Do you
think?
I mean, I can see maybe Rollins.
It's either be Rollins or Theory. I don't see Theory dropping though. I mean, I feel like Rollins needs something bigger than the U.S. title though.
You do realize that the U.S. title is the heavyweight title of Raw right now, if you really think about it.
Yeah, it is.
The way they're treating it.
I know.
It's like Roman Reigns is the champion of SmackDown, and Austin Theory is technically the champion of Raw right now.
Kinda, yeah.
The way they're doing things. That's just how it feels.
It hasn't been. You also got Lashley Lesnar 3 at Elimination Chamber, which if WWE was smart, they would make like a fight pit match or something.
If WWE was smart, it would have been a Mania match, unless they're going to make a fourth match after.
For what?
I think Lesnar, Lashley.
The only way I would agree with them doing that is that they do a last man standing match and either one of them answers the 10 count.
Who, Lashley and Lesnar?
Yeah.
You know who shouldn't be in Mania? The asshole who almost ruined the Royal Rumble should not be in Mania.
Which one?
Yeah, but there's a good chance he probably will be if you're talking about.
Who am I talking about?
You're talking about Logan Paul.
Yes, that piece of shit. Thank you.
You're probably getting Rollins and Logan Paul at Mania.
Probably.
That's why he's probably not. That's probably why Rollins is not going to win at Chamber unless they do the stupid thing. Oh, let's have him defending against Logan Paul for the title at Mania, which I'm not into. Not a fan.
I mean, hell, he got it. They gave him a WWE Universal title shot, so why not a U.S. title shot?
I don't know. Like, he is not bad in the ring, but I just don't like him.
I don't like him. I'm tired of these fucking entertainment people coming in and taking spots from wrestlers. I understand it's a company, but it's a wrestling event. It's the biggest wrestling event of the year.
You can't say that Logan Paul can't wrestle. You can't say that.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying he's an entertainer before he's a wrestler.
That's true.
And that's my issue.
But the fact that he held his own in the ring like Bad Bunny.
No, I was impressed. They both were good in the ring.
They actually
I prefer Bad Bunny wrestling football. Because I don't hate Bad Bunny, even though I'm not a fan of his music, and I know everybody I work with is obsessed with Bad Bunny's music. I don't hate Bad Bunny as much.
Logan Paul to me is an annoying personality.
I can tolerate an annoying musician. I can't tolerate an annoying personality.
He was pissing me off until he showed me he could wrestle.
Who,
and Logan Paul, I had the same. I felt the same way about Logan Paul, but the dives he's taken, the bumps he's even taken. He can hold his own in the ring.
Right.
He proved himself there. I just don't like his personality. I just don't like him. But I can't knock him. I can't knock his ability. I can't.
No, you can't. I agree. I agree with that. That's fair. You know what else is going to happen at the Elimination Chamber? Because there's only 4 matches advertised.
What?
Edge and Beth Phoenix against Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley.
That's gonna be a hell of a match.
It is. That's gonna be a good match. I mean, I think honestly, if they're doing what they were doing in Impact recently, why not put Beth Phoenix up against Finn Balor in a singles match?
Because WWE will never do that.
They kind of did. Didn't they do an intergender match recently?
Not entirely. I had a dream recently that there was an intergender Royal Rumble. That was entertaining in my dream.
I could have sworn that on Raw or SmackDown there was an intergender match.
Rod.
Well, Impact, you recently had the good hands against Dreamer and Mickey James.
I'm talking about Impact. Yeah, Impact. Impact's known for intergender, but I could have sworn that they did something in WWE recently.
Not a formal match, though, right?
Are you talking about Rhea versus Akira Tozawa?
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Yes, but that counts. Don't tell me that doesn't count.
No, it does. It was an official match.
I forgot that happened. Goddamn. I'm slacking on my wrestling lately.
There's nothing wrong with intergender matches. Just
I have no problem.
They're both They're wrestlers that one's female, one's male. So what?
Who cares? If they can work and they can wrestle, they train with each other all the time.
I mean, Candice LeRae was infamous for doing them.
Yeah, in the Indies, she was huge. And now they're not doing shit with her. Another one who they're not doing shit with.
Let Triple H have her do some intergender matches.
What they should do is have Gargano and Candice do intergender mixed tags, which they haven't done.
That would be sweet.
That'd be good too.
Or you can have Call India, but have them be a team again.
Who?
Okay, that's a good
idea. Working on this, women's tag team division.
That's a good idea too.
Yeah, that's some good ones.
Because Indy's been down here long enough, so she needs a call off.
Yeah, Indy right now is the Bailey of the modern day Bailey.
Kind of, yeah.
Bailey stayed behind, but then again, Indy's never had a title.
By the way, I did watch NXT this week, and I was very upset about something. But I'm curious where it goes to. Okay. They broke up my girls to Toxic Attraction.
But here's what pisses me off even more about that. They faked it, and then they decide to make it real. They basically did the same thing, but they actually followed through with it. You know what I mean? First they did it as a ploy, but then, let's just do it again anyway and make it count this time.
Right.
And the way they did it...
And we all know whose influence was that. Who wrote that segment? We all know.
If there was only a barbershop window, we would have known. Yeah.
But they weren't going to have no females going to do no glass window. Sorry.
Why the hell not? I'm sure that's actually sounds like a bump that Candice LeRae would have taken. I almost said Candice Michelle.
Probably,
Candice LeRae would have taken.
Okay, Candice Michelle would have never taken that bump.
Candice LeRae would have.
Yeah, Candice Michelle would have been like, I might break a nail doing that.
Yeah.
Even though she was stunning too.
She was, okay, those women were beautiful, but wrestling talents, a few of them, like Michelle McCool, wrestling talent. Lita, Mickey James, Trish Stratus, wrestling talent. Beth Phoenix, wrestling talent, but
Kelly and Candice Michelle and Tori Wilson and
stupid Bellas. No, thank you.
I hate to agree, but I can. Summer Rae, plots in the ring.
No.
They were models. Hey, let's have fight.
Layla, whatchamacallit? No. Oksana, if that was it, no.
She was great. Rod's giving us the eye roll because he doesn't agree with us. Because Rod believes that all these wrestlers were good talents.
I'm quite down, you hater.
Entertaining, yeah, but wrestling? Victoria, excuse me. Victoria Tara, fuck yes. Fuck yes.
Overrated.
Ivory.
Oh, now you really being a hater.
Ivory underrated. Jackie should have, unfortunately, was
the best thing that Ivory did recently
with bad angles
was when she came out for the 2022 Royal Rumble as the right to censor. They threw her right out when she was doing her whole rant.
Yeah,
she was still ranting after it.
Do you think? I feel that Jackie got the worst of it because she was actually the one who made the challenge for the bra and panties match. That she was the one who made the challenge, yet she was the better wrestler than that stupid Sable.
I'm gonna go on a whole rant about Sable for a second because apparently I'm a Jim Cornette mark and I might actually agree with him, even though I like Sable. She just wanted to be on TV and wrestling was her ends to do it.
She ruined the women's division, even though on script
she bastardized that division twice. So in 1999 and in 2003, she bastardized that division both times.
And you know what?
There's another one. Actually got the chance to defend that championship at a WrestleMania. It's a travesty.
Oh, by the way, I did leave out.
In my opinion, the worst WrestleMania of all time.
Rod hates that WrestleMania because Sable wrestled at it.
I did.
Outside of Rock Austin, that WrestleMania was horrible. That legit was the worst WrestleMania of all time.
Actually, I rewatched it. I thought I was gonna be excited. I was disappointed and pissed off.
I don't want to watch it again.
You don't want to watch it again. Remember all that hype for Bart Gunn with his
anybody even
and then he got knocked out 30 seconds with Butterbane? Come on. What did you say, Rob?
We didn't talk about Jazz, another great who was surrounded by and how about what's her name, who could have been something amazing, but that didn't happen either. Awesome Kong as Karma, that could have been she could have been a great women's champion.
But she got knocked up and that was the end of that.
And then she decided she was more into acting than wrestling, so go figure.
Yeah,
she lost all that weight.
What I was going to say is about like how I was saying 15 was the worst, and before anybody says 36, obviously 36 gets a pass. In the story, 36 gets a pass. I was just happy we had wrestling.
I didn't think about WrestleMania. It wasn't even that bad.
But we talking about the
but some people are going to say it was, but it wasn't.
People were hating on it because it was WrestleMania right as everything shut down, so they could only.
Yeah, but we are talking about Mania-demic then.
Yes, we are.
But that WrestleMania started what they're doing now, which is
the 2 days.
New Japan.
Right.
Although New Japan is not doing what they were doing anyway.
They are, but they're not. They started it the same year, or the year after, technically. Sorry, I got to stretch. My leg fell asleep.
The 2 nights back to back was great, but then but what they just did with the don't call it Wrestle Kingdom, just call it New Japan versus Pro Wrestling Noah.
That I agree with, yes, because that's what it should be. Because
originally it was great, even though they kind of repeated wrestlers on the card. It was still cool to okay, I'm going to watch this spectacular, this great spectacle, this amazing New Japan show back to back, 2 nights of it, and then now you put something in between it and you don't call it. But okay, I'm digressing. I'm going all over the place. Let's finish what we're doing so we can move on AEW.
Yeah, let's hit that point. But I will say, until that segue, New Japan had one of their current biggest events yesterday, which I haven't watched the full thing. I know Rod stayed up and watched it.
I missed it. I do want to see the match that's going to change the world of New Japan, and I'll tell you why in a minute.
Right. So yeah, that was I saw the clips of it. I didn't watch the full match. I only watched the first 2 matches, which were both good, but the match of that card obviously was the Hikuleo Jay White match, and the loser leaves Japan.
So I have a question for you.
Okay.
I mean, that might have been the most anticipated match, but I wouldn't say that was the best match.
It was or wasn't?
Now that we know
it wasn't the best match. It was top 3, but it wasn't the best match.
It was the match.
And Okada was much better.
I'm sure it was. Well, they always have good matches.
Who and Okada? I gotta watch it.
Shingo and Okada wrestled, right? I'm sure that was a better match, yes.
Oh, you mean Shingo and Okada? We've seen it already enough, Shingo and Okada? Sorry, but I've seen it enough. I've never seen Hikuleo Jay White. See, I'm more excited about that because that's a match.
You didn't see the match when they wrestled on Strong?
Maybe I did.
They had the match already, but this one was for more of the stakes.
But you know what though? That I don't know. Like I feel like Shingo and Okada's happened more times.
They've all happened, but I will say though, but for storytelling, Hikuleo Jay White was the match to watch. I would probably even say, I didn't watch it, but I would even say that Tama Tonga El Phantasmo was a better match than Jay White Hikuleo.
That was a good match too. As much as I can't stand Tama Tonga, that was a really good match too.
I love Tama Tonga and I love El Phantasmo, so I'm gonna be a mark for that match.
Did Tonga win that match?
Yeah, he retained, yeah.
Okay, well I didn't want to say nothing. I know you hadn't seen what's it, so I didn't want to say nothing about wins and losses. I know you hadn't watched the whole thing yet.
That's fine because we're talking about it. I'd rather.
We're talking about it. We do that more for you. You're the one who gets all sore about the spoilers. Like I deal with them.
I mean, yeah, I don't care at this point.
Well, because it's not spoiled. The show's over with.
Yeah, I can't say anything about it because it already happened. But and I don't know when I'm going to watch it, so might as well.
I'm gonna try and watch it later tonight after the game, probably.
But all right, so Hikuleo won, and so what does that mean?
So either
Jay White can no longer compete in Japan. He is not going from New Japan like everybody thinks he is. He just can't compete. So, like if New Japan has shows in Australia or in Mexico or in the U.S., Jay White can compete. He just can't compete in Japan.
True, but my question is, where does Bullet Club go if Jay White can only operate outside of Japan?
Well, here's the thing. Well, here's where it gets interesting because my thought is either it's one of two things because usually like around Wrestle Kingdom time or like the end of January, early February, that's usually where New Japan renegotiates their contracts and their deals anyway.
Right.
So what I'm thinking is it's either that Jay White legitimately is actually leaving WWE this time, which has been rumored forever.
You mean leaving for WWE, Jim?
What?
You said he's leaving WWE, Jim.
I said he's leaving New Japan and going to WWE.
That's not what you said. You said he's leaving WWE. You said it.
I said it wrong. So he's leaving New Japan to go to WWE.
Okay, Jim.
Okay, Jay.
Jim, go ahead.
I'll go by Jim from now on.
Do you know where I'm going with this, Jim Ross?
I do.
All right. Anyway, go ahead. He's leaving
He's leaving to possibly go, or it's like Rod said. He's still technically going to be under contract with New Japan, and he's only going to work Strong, which means that he'll probably appear on AEW because they still have that working relationship.
So what does that mean for Rock Hard?
He's gonna. What happened?
I mean, Rock Hard Juice Robinson.
Well, apparently Juice Robinson is assigned to both AEW and New Japan right now, I think. Me too. Let me read that. I'm pretty sure he's technically got to deal with both of them.
And go to sleep because speaking of going to sleep, while we're talking about New Japan, Kenta is going to be wrestling in an Impact match with the Bullet Club.
Yeah. Right, they have that work relationship too, yeah. So, Kenta's going to be on Impact. Okay, so I may have to watch that. Ugh.
Wow. Well, wait, did Hell just freeze over?
It might
have frozen over. Hey, all joking aside, I actually tried to watch Impact like 2 weeks ago. It failed. I fell asleep.
Because you're a hater.
That show is better than a freaking sleeping pill.
Go to sleep for a minute because I think Impact's doing a good thing with Bully Ray and Mickie James fighting, even though it kind of...
That's going to be a war, no surrender between Masha and Mickie James. That's going to be a war.
I have a question for you. With that match happening, and then a later match with with Gresham's Jordan Grace. Here's my question. Here's my question for you. Is Nick Aldis going to Impact?
That's a good question. He is currently a free agent right now, so that's a good question.
Because if Bully Ray is in an angle with Mickie James, what makes sense?
That'll be cool.
That would make, you're attacking my wife. Now I have to kick your ass.
Right. So also going back to Juice Robinson for a second, he officially has signed with AEW, but he's still working with Japan, even though he's technically contracted with AEW, not in Japan anymore.
I mean, you could see.
So I could see Jay White kind of doing the opposite. Was my point.
Would Bullet Club be better represented outside of New Japan? I mean, make United Empire the new Bullet Club. Make House of Torture, House of Torture now.
I think that's what they should do. I mean, unfortunately, Bullet Club has run its course. Yes, I'm a Mark and I love the Bullet Club, and I'm wearing their shirt forever as I'm an Elite Mark too. But I think at this point, Bullet Club needs to redo their whole faction because it's like it got too far.
It is very jumping the shark NWO right now.
It is. It became that. Like what United Empire is currently is what Bullet Club was initially designed to be.
I mean, because right now, for the first time in God knows how long, they currently do not have any champions right now.
Who, the Bullet Club? They don't.
Yeah.
That's true.
What about
who's the lightweight? Who's the junior? Who's the lightweight?
Hiromu Takahashi.
Hiromu's a champ again.
Always Hiromu Takahashi.
And
they're the guy.
The newly Christian Strong Style, the new never open weight 6-man tag team champions.
Who are?
Ren Narita, El Desperado, and Minoru Suzuki.
Because it's
known
weird
as Strong Style.
Which is weird because Minoru Suzuki's a full-blown babyface now, and it's fucking weird.
He's been a babyface for a while. You just haven't.
Yeah, no, I know that in the States, yes, but in Japan, he's a babyface, which is weird.
I think it's like a full circle. It's full circle.
It is. No, it is. It is. I agree. I'm just saying.
Everyone fucking loved him.
I mean, Despy was a babyface before Suzuki-gun, so I've seen stuff with Despy as a babyface, and he was a good babyface. And Ren Narita's super babyface.
Who Roman's next challenger is going to be?
I didn't watch the thing yet, so who is his next challenger going to be?
Leo Rush.
Nice.
Are they still? Didn't they give him a new name?
No.
It's the bad child, I believe his new nickname is.
No, but I thought they called him something else instead of Leo or something.
No.
No, he got a new nickname, but he's still Leo Rush.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Leave Leo in. It seems like Leo has a better relationship in New Japan than he did in any of the other companies.
Because he's outspoken and he runs his mouth and it gets him in trouble.
It does.
Yes, it does.
The thing is that where in Japan it's a different culture. Yeah. So maybe some of his opinions.
I mean, hell, perfect example, Tama Tonga. Anywhere else, he would have been blacklisted. Anywhere else, he would have did what he said on Twitter. But in New Japan, he's fine.
That's why you'll probably never see Tama Tonga in WWE.
No,
because they're so big on the troops, they'll never sign him.
The hell's fuck.
By the way,
but WWE is interested in Tonga and Lee Hikuleo. They've both gone on record saying they're denying Jay White and Hikuleo. That's why that was interesting too. Because whoever lost that match could have had a deal up and gone to WWE.
I have a question for you because I heard he's already been there. Is Jacob Fatu going to NXT?
I haven't heard. I mean, at the moment, right now, it's just rumors.
I heard he was in the dark. Wasn't he in dark matches over there?
No, not yet. Not that I've heard of. Because I'm pretty sure, his name would have definitely came up, for the freaking next class, the way Casey Navarro and Kylie Ray did. His name didn't come up, so.
Oh, when the hell is that happening?
I mean, hell, unfortunately, Dragon League, he was supposed to be called what's name already to TV, but unfortunately, the same thing that's stopping the Lucha Brothers and Bandito from being on TV right now is stopping Dragon League.
What?
Visa issues.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Well, yeah, that happens to a lot of guys. That's why.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's been a big thing in wrestling the last couple of years.
Well, also too with COVID, visa issues are probably a lot harder to clear up. Because
should we play a game though?
What game are we playing?
How long is Kaylee Ray going to last in WWE before she has another, before she says again,
well,
mental health
officially
issues stop me.
she's officially not signed with them. She's still a free agent.
But the point is, they should look at all of her past experiences with all the other companies. And I think that's a red flag.
You hope that she's got all her what's this taken care of, because if she thought like NWA and Impact was bad, if she doesn't have all her mental issues taken care of, WWE's gonna be like a million times worse.
AEW, I mean, is where it started. And then
I think AEW. Here's the thing too. Even the AEW, like they're as they expand, it's gonna be another WWE for like travel and all that stuff. It may not be as bad yet, but it could be bad, and it's still that high pressure environment.
They're gonna start doing house shows next month, so.
And her track record should. I mean, I'm surprised they wouldn't look at her track record with the other companies.
They might.
Because say. Hasn't every single reason that she's left due to mental health issues?
Yeah, I mean, she literally no showed the biggest event of the year for Impact.
And
that should be a red flag. Even though I don't like Impact, that should for any company be a red flag.
And it wasn't like she had like some pre-show match. She had a title match, which a lot of people believe,
she was
considering that Su Yung beat Deonna Purrazzo, that she was probably going to win the title.
Is that where Deonna Purrazzo won the title?
No, that's when she lost to Su Yung.
Su Yung, yeah.
Okay, I don't follow Impact because again,
And what was NWA? What was the reason she left NWA?
Same thing. Like she no-showed the big event because her mental issue, her anxiety got too much.
And AEW isn't that
and she
where
had a relapse?
And in AEW, didn't she leave for a similar reason?
Yeah, she asked for her release though, so it wasn't like she no-showed and she asked for her release from AEW.
But even still, even on that level, with you no-showed two companies' big events, you no-showed two different companies' major events. That's a red flag. No,
no-showing.
Could you imagine her doing that like WWE, like having a title match at WrestleMania, no-showing?
You'll be blacklisted forever.
Yeah. I'm surprised they're even considering her to even be in the Performance Center based on that. I mean, AEW, granted, when she did it, AEW was still starting out and still getting their sea legs, still starting out and getting their whole operation together. But
right,
but then no showing two other companies since, yeah, that's bad. No,
it's terrible. It's no bueno at all. It's terrible. What was I going to say? No, like that's just poor reflection. I understand mental health issues, yes, and I'm a big advocate for it, so I get it. But like at the same time, you got to think of it from both perspectives, business and personal.
But you have time to work on them each and every.
Which she has, and I'm just hoping they're good now. I mean,
it's just
because mental health issues you can do only so much for. But one thing you can't do is being a toxic person, and that's why no one is hiring Tessa Blanchard. When you get fired from WoW, that tells you all you need to know. When you get fired from WoW,
yeah,
you got fired from freaking WoW.
Who's the champion in WoW now?
Right now, the belt's currently vacant because the champion had to relinquish.
Who was the champion?
The Beast.
I know that Tessa Blanchard was wasn't she doing more than wasn't she doing behind the scenes stuff too?
Yes, and she was being a toxic bitch, and that's why they fired her.
She's young and entitled. That's the problem. She's another one who's young and entitled.
She shouldn't be entitled.
You spit in the face of the company that made you a megastar, and you act like people are supposed to bow down to you because you was a female world champion.
She was the only person in history to have the men's title too. And
Impact made her a megastar, and she spit in their face.
I know it.
God hates Tessa Blanchard. It's so funny.
Because she's a bitch. Not just a bitch, she's a toxic bitch.
It sucks too because what could have happened, and she had played her cards right. You know, could have been the WrestleMania main event this year or last year or the year before. Tessa Blanchard and Charlotte. And that would be an amazing match.
That would have been a great match.
That would have been a story-told match. But because Tessa Blanchard's a toxic bitch.
I know Ricochet's happy she never made it because, that's the last thing he wanted was to deal with her toxic ass again.
And then Tully Blanchard gets to be on TV and Mania. I mean, Tully Blanchard in one corner, Ric Flair in the other corner.
That's storytelling. Exactly. That's storytelling.
Yeah.
That's going to be excited on it. And that's what they should be doing.
That match will never happen.
Nope. Never. You snooze, you lose. Fuck you, Tessa Blanchard. Fuck my fucking fantasy dream futures of wrestling.
Yeah, at least he did get to wrestle Brian Cage and Sami Callihan.
Yeah.
That I feel like.
And speaking of intergender wrestling, you know who I want to see do some more matches, especially after seeing her work in Lucha Underground's Chelsea Green. Her and Penta was a really good match.
So she can actually wrestle Chelsea Green, but this Karen angle is hilarious.
It may be hilarious, but I want.
Once she overcomes the Karen angle, she'll go the Karen character. She'll go back to winning.
We hope.
I hope
they don't Zack Ryder.
This was the same company that legit tried to sue her for the rights to her government name. So
I guess we should just start calling her Chelsea Ryder, huh? Mrs. Zack Ryder, Mrs. Job Ryder. Poor Matt Cardona. I love Matt Cardona.
Speaking of him, that was a hell of a main event last night too. Speaking of him.
Oh, he wrestled last night?
Yeah, him and Tyrus for the NWA World Title last night.
Oh, who won?
Tyrus.
Of course. Is Tyrus still was Tyrus a good guy though?
The fans were firmly behind Tyrus.
Yeah, Tyrus I was watching the last NWA. Yeah, in fact he's the babyface now, yeah.
Is he still with that idiot?
Yeah. But despite that, the fans were firmly behind Tyrus.
Because they hate Cardona. Cardona's great, though. He's great in NWA. He's great in GCW. I don't know how he's going to impact them.
Speaking of congratulations to the Renegade Twins.
For what?
Becoming the third ever NWA Women's Tag Team Champions.
Oh, okay. So I guess they're not doing stuff with AEW anymore.
I guess not.
I mean, they're still free agents. I mean, they're not. I don't think they've officially signed the NWA. But one person who is now officially signed to NWA now, as of last night, is EC3.
EC3.
Is he still doing the gimmick though?
Yes. He's still doing the Control Your Narrative.
The narrative, I mean.
Yeah.
I never got into EC3.
Before we talk about EC3, I just want to say something that Rod will understand that you won't understand. Rod? Matt Cardona never got that shrimp cocktail.
Oh my God.
Oh,
never got a shrimp cocktail? I feel bad for him.
That was fucking funny. Come on.
Because Impact does him wrong. He's in the wrong company. They didn't give him his cocktail.
It was great, though. Oh my God, that was freaking hilarious. Oh, and while we on that subject of Impact and NWA, did you see who showed up on Impact?
When? Last
week.
Oh God, I watched it. I don't know.
Who took out the Death Dolls?
Oh yeah, the Hex.
I was like, wow. I was like, oh damn.
But let's not forget where they started.
Oh yeah.
They were both in TNA Impact.
Yeah.
Before being the Hex.
Yeah, Sienna is a former Knockouts champion and the last GFW Women's Champion.
And what the hell's her name? What's her name? Marty Bell was in.
Yeah, she's a part of the Dollhouse.
But is she Sienna or is she using her?
I'm going to assume. I'm not sure if she's using Sienna or Allison Kay. I'm not sure yet.
I think it would make more sense to be Allison Kay because I feel like with like the way things have been working.
But you know the freaking Impact Knockouts Taxi Division just got a big boost with them arriving.
Yep, I agree.
Yep.
I think it's stupid that James Mitchell is the one endorsing them, but whatever. I get it. I'm going to put a hex on you. Woo! But they, I don't think they need James Mitchell.
I got a feeling that's going to be a short-term partnership.
They don't. James Mitchell makes that whole thing like goofy. And I don't want the Hex to be goofy. I want them to be taken as a serious tag team like they were in NWA.
The Hex? Other than Impact now?
Yeah, so maybe you should watch.
Yeah, they showed up. It was great.
Also, I mean, can we kind of figure out a way to go to AEW? Because I kind of want to talk about AEW.
All right, let's get right into it. Just hit the point. Hit the key point.
Right.
Well, I'm excited about like what's going to happen in Dynamite. Again, Briscoe versus Josh Woods.
That's gonna be a good match.
The fact that it seems like we are starting to see more guys that haven't been featured on Dynamite get on Dynamite.
It's good. It's time. They need to kind of freshen it up.
The angle with why does my old man brain keep doing this to me?
You're having a senior moment, Grandpa.
No.
Why you thinking? Can we talk about how amazing that trio title match was?
Who is that? Saraya and frickin' Tony Storm right now doing this. What could be like a female
and the
NWO.
biggest question is, where will Ruby Soho's royalties lie with? That's the biggest question.
Loyalties? Did you say royalties?
Loyalties, I said.
You said royalties?
No, I definitely said loyalties, but okay.
He said royalties. I heard it.
Thank you. We have 2 Jim Rosses today.
Although
Jim Rosses today. And you almost just had a Jim Ross moment, so all 3 of us are
I've had plenty of Jim Ross moments.
That's a fair point.
I've had plenty of Jim Ross moments.
Rick Nobody moments.
Nah, fuck Rick Nobody. But anyway, I like where this whole thing is going. Yes, it's very NWO DX, but maybe Ruby is going to be the 3rd member. Maybe not. Who knows where they want to, if they want to keep making. AEW does love factions like New Japan.
They have too many. But they have too many. That's the problem.
They do.
Like, I love New Japan. I love factions there, but the way they do factions is way different than they do in the States.
They're kind of fucking up one of the factions right now, though, in AEW.
Which one? I'm probably going to agree with
Trustbusters.
Oh, they're terrible.
Oh.
But why? Because Daivari, who's supposedly the leader of the Trustbusters, is now teaming with Woods and Nice with Sterling, and he's been involved with them a lot to where it's like, what's going on with the Trustbusters? Seems like in Dark, it's just like 3 guys that were part of it, but it doesn't make sense to have the Trustbusters without Daivari because he's the one with the trust fund.
Right. I think it's unless they're kind of combining the 2 factions. I don't know.
It doesn't make sense to do that.
No.
I mean, you take Parker Boudreaux out and put him with Swerve and Trent and this new dude Trench, and that's cool. But now it's like, just get rid of the Trustbusters.
I have a feeling it's going to fizzle out anyway.
Just like you should get rid of the what do they call them? The Hollywood crew, whatever the
wingmen.
The wingmen, yeah, because you know what? I think the Workhorsemen are doing better on their own.
Yeah.
Caesar, what's his? Help me, Rod. You're good with names.
Cesar Bononi.
Cesar Bononi. We haven't really seen him doing a lot. I mean, just figure out either something to do with them or finish or have them go somewhere else. You know what I mean?
No, I get you.
It's like with the Dark Order. The Dark Order shouldn't even be together anymore.
Shit, can it?
Now we're finally seeing Preston Vance back on Dynamite.
as a character, not as the mask guy, but as like a gimmick. Yeah, it's good. I like it.
He hasn't been on this angle. Has not.
I know it hasn't been Dynamite yet. I know they've been. I don't know. It's again. I feel like the problem is they have too much talent, and they're the victim of their own time constraints. That's the problem with AEW on like Wednesday nights. Is you have so much talent now, but you're on such time constraints for them.
But that's why Rampage is great. You put the other, and that's why. I mean, Dark. If Dark was on regular TV, that would be something else. But that's why maybe Dark, you put more angles than just jobber matches and more angle matches.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that way you can have your storylines and you can throw them on the different shows, kind of like what Sunday Night Heat did.
Yeah, I could agree with that. That's what it should be. I mean, I feel like they all should kind of be doing that anyway, but I feel like Dark and Dark Elevation, it's just like, it's hard to say, because I feel like Elevation became like just a Ring of Honor show under an AEW name.
But here's the other problem with the Elevation and Dark. They're showing the same wrestlers 2 nights in a row.
That's where they're doing it wrong.
That is what they're doing, where they're doing it wrong. Where on Rampage you are starting to see more, different matches than on Dynamite. You are starting to see.
No, I agree. No, the TV shows are good. It's the YouTube shows they need to tweak. Like I said, at first they were both great in theory, but now they're running their course. It's good for like having matches for talent and a place for people to work, but like it's not really furthering anything.
It's not. It's okay.
They're good matches. I'm enjoying them, and if that's what they want, then they're doing the right thing. But it's not doing anything for their product.
Let's take out Dark and Dark Elevation and let's do the Ring of Honor show. Now you can see,
right? Exactly.
I'm bubbity buying right now.
Okay, Jim Ross.
No, that was something I did on Radio X.
No, I know. I'm messing with you.
Well, I think Jim Ross was always fumbling, but so am I. But anyway,
Jim Ross is getting old.
Brian Page, Jungle Boy Part 2 on Dynamite. Yeah, these are good matches to watch.
I'm excited for them. They're gonna be good matches.
Dynamite's ending was great. I loved it.
It was good.
You know why? Because they didn't do what could have been expected.
That's right. They did it underhanded, but not in a cliche way, which was good.
Billy Gunn did not turn on the Acclaimed.
I think he is going to turn, but not yet. I think he will turn, but I don't think he's going to turn yet.
And if he does turn, at least it didn't happen where it could have counted and made it very WCW, where they did a lot of crap like that, back and forth. So I'm glad that they didn't do it. I'm glad that they found another way to make it work.
Me too.
Yes, Rod, they still cheated, but who cares? They won the match. And deservingly so, because a tag team that no one gave a damn about in the very beginning of AEW. That was just used as pandemic extras, and are now up there with the Acclaimed
and that's what's going to happen. As long as you give wrestlers time to harness their craft and be on TV, you're going to get that because you'll see it. And also, they're the kids of Billy Gunn. They have a lot of good intel anyway. Billy Gunn, I'm sure, has taught them a lot about the business before they even stepped a foot in a ring in the business. And then they're seeing it firsthand. They're seeing what it takes to earn it. And that's a great story in itself.
It is. And I mean, Colton Gunn he didn't go on that path. He just saw what his brother was doing and he's like, now I want to do it.
Right.
Now I want to do it. But here's the other thing. You have two other second gen talents in AEW that are taking a slower approach, and you'd think they would push them up a little more. Brian Pillman Jr.'s run with Griff Garrison didn't last long, and now he's with Brock Anderson.
Well, that's because Griff is injured. That's why.
But it's still a good one.
But take it to the bigger shows.
Give it time, and they will. And hopefully they do, and I think it should. And give it time, and then hopefully it will. You know, you have to give that. You got to build that with time. The guns weren't overnight. That took a while.
What's the other guy's name? Lee Johnson. You'd think that putting him with QT would have helped, but it hasn't.
Yeah, you haven't seen a factor in a minute. Like Aaron Solo. I mean, isn't he in Australia right now?
I don't know what the
hell. I know they were appearing. A lot of them were appearing on Strong for a while. I don't know. Maybe they're kind of reworking them into AEW. I don't know.
Also, why are we ignoring a feud that should be happening that isn't happening between a certain member of the Jericho Appreciation Society and Ricky Starks? And why are we like really focusing on the fact that these guys came up together in other companies, Ricky Starks and Sammy Guevara?
I'm sure it's going there. I mean, I know the Ultimate Feud is going to be Jericho Starks, but I'm sure it's going to happen within that feud.
It happened already. That's the thing. They've already.
Speaking of that, you know who's cooled off? Like you haven't seen him for like the last couple of weeks. Action Andretti.
Yeah. What's going on with that?
They don't know what to do with them. They give them like these pushes and they don't know what to do. They have too much. They don't have enough time to push everybody. It goes back to that point.
But AR Fox and freaking Top Flight, fuck yeah, I'm behind that.
I like that a lot. They're cool. I like AR Fox a lot.
I'm saying this right now. Like either you have them beat the embassy at Supercard of Honor, or you have Top Flight become the next Ring of Honor tag champions. As hot as they are right now, you gotta give them a go at this point.
I agree.
Or Top Flight beats the
Fox get the 6-mans.
Top Flight can get 6-mans. Top Flight beats I feel like the tag team division is more focused on the AEW stars right now than. Well, then again, the champion is an AEW star, but then again, is he an AEW homegrown star or is he an MLW homegrown star? MJF.
He's originally MJF.
Which I was telling somebody Sunday. I found it ironic that like when him and Starks were building up their match, how he got on Starks about being NWA, where NWA is bigger than MLW where you came from.
Yeah, that is true. MLW.
At least NWA has like pay-per-views on Fight. MLW can't even say that right now.
MLW, I don't even watch it anymore because it feels like, I don't know, like, okay, it's good for the fantasy wrestling points and shit, but as far as what they're doing as a company, I don't feel like they're really making waves the way they were a while ago.
Well, now they got a TV deal, so that's going to help.
Okay, where? That's good. That actually is good.
The Reels Network.
Where's that?
Depends on your cable company.
Is that can you get that on YouTube? Because like I have mine.
It's actually an app. You can actually like on your app store. You can get the app.
All the real.
See, I think it would be better if like. I know that like streaming is where everything's at now, but I think it's great to say that you have two major wrestling companies on two major networks where kind of Impact's kind of swimming on a network that's not really used on all.
It's hard to find a network. I mean, Tony Khan, why do you think all the episodes are gonna be streaming on Honor Club? Because he couldn't find a TV deal for Ring of Honor.
That's why what he should have done was taken off Dark Elevation and made that Ring of Honor.
True. But wouldn't Ring of Honor, I mean, I'm just trying to think, where else can you do wrestling? Maybe Sci-Fi again. Maybe you could put it on the Sci-Fi network. Maybe you could do UPN again. Or whatever they're calling Channel 9. But then again, streaming, you don't really need network TV. You could put it on Netflix.
You could do anything. I mean, Netflix might be hard to sign. That's kind of like almost like getting a TV deal. For which show? Which show are we talking about? I got distracted for a split.
Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor should have just, for right now, until they can what they should do is do the Honor Club and get a YouTube show. What they should
that's what they're doing.
When
they do these tapings, it's going to be available on Honor Club.
I don't like it. I don't like that you have to keep constantly paying more for more premium channels just to watch wrestling.
That's why I'm saying.
Well, that's how they make their money.
Put it on. Well, that's a moneymaker. That's why they do it. It's all cash cow. Everything's a cash grab.
Yeah, but if they were on
everything for a cash grab, everybody knows that.
If they were on network TV, it would be. I mean,
yeah, but you know how hard it is to get network to get pro wrestling.
And I'm a little annoyed too because it looks like AEW is now getting that network treatment since they had that whole problem with Jay Briscoe, where the network was getting involved.
Right. That's the issue. But guys, I got to put a pin in this personally.
No!
I know, but we'll do one either next week or the following week. We'll do a follow up to this.
Do we have anything to add? Okay, so we got Elimination Chamber coming up. We have Battle of the Valley.
And then in 2 weeks, No Surrender.
Didn't Pro Wrestling Guerrilla also do a Battle in the Valley too, as well?
They probably did their own version of it. Yeah
they did. But anyway, so you got the New Japan Battle of the Valley. You got
Impact No Surrender.
Okay, Impact No. What's the main event for that? Alexander.
Josh Alexander versus Rich Swann for the Impact World Title. Swann is finally getting his rematch he didn't get when he lost the title to Omega.
I don't care.
Oh,
I don't care. It might be a great match, but I don't care about Rich Swann, right? I don't know. I want to see like Speedball and Kenny King do more stuff. I don't know what. I mean, I guess
we're going to get Speedball versus Gresham at No Surrender.
That's going to be good. I don't know. I want to see like I just don't feel like Rich Swann. To me, Alexander Rich Swann doesn't really make me want to watch it. You know what I mean? They're great. I mean, don't get me wrong, Rich Swann's great, but I just don't. I just want to see something else.
No, I want something. I don't like Rich Swann in the title picture. I don't even watch Impact, but I don't like him in the world title picture. I just don't see how it fits.
I mean, okay, it was cool that they did that because he was like, considered a cruiserweight guy for so long, and then they put him they put him on top. But I don't know. And I mean, you have Time Machine now, kind of you have Kushida and the Machine Guns against Bullet Club with freaking Kenta, which is sweet. And you're seeing more of Chris Bay and Ace Austin, so that's cool. But
that's cool. And also what's cool too is going into for a split second Battle in the Valley, you got Kenta going after the title against Fred Ross of the Open Strong, which I'm hoping Kenta wins.
And also you got for the IWGP World Title, Okada versus Tanahashi for the. If I'm correct, I believe this is gonna be the first time they've done it in the States.
Which belt?
The IWGP World Title.
IWGP. Okay, yeah.
So there's going to be Okada Tanahashi.
Oh yeah, Okada Tanahashi. They're doing that. That's what they're doing. Okay, that's pretty sweet. But you know what? I mean, that's cool that they're doing it in the U.S. because I'm sure we've seen Okada Tanahashi in Japan a million times. But
but never in the States, I believe.
So okay, I could go with that. I mean, it was great to see like Okada mix it up with Cole and Page. That was pretty cool. And obviously White. God, I'm like losing my memory. At 44, I'm gonna get like Alzheimer's at 44. Watch me.
Too young for that, homie. You're too young.
I'm just saying, I'm like forgetting like obvious shit right now.
I do that all the time, and I'm 36, so maybe I'm just screwed at 36. I don't know.
But yeah, okay. So Battle of the Valley,
and we got, of course, the other big match: Kyrie versus Mercedes Moné, aka Sasha Banks.
Oh fuck yeah!
I can't wait for this card.
I think it's great that we're seeing Mercedes Moné outside of WWE.
I know, me too.
And the fact that she didn't go back to WWE when everyone else did, that's great too. Okay, we have Revolution coming up in a month. And so far, I think isn't the only match for Revolution right now Danielson MJF?
I think so.
That's right. Yes.
We got that. Am I missing anything? I mean, we know what WWE's doing right now. Impact, we know what they're doing. And isn't Big Khan going to have a match against who the hell? Frankie Kazarian?
Yeah.
Good for Frankie Kazarian. You know, the fact that he still has a place to wrestle. He could have stayed at AEW, I guess, and done other stuff, but he's back at Impact, where he basically made a name for himself. Although you got CD wrestling still in AEW.
Yeah, they kind of wrapped that up, but we'll see.
All right. Well,
I enjoy that as a team, but I enjoy that they're still wrestling at least, though. I know Daniels is doing what's it called? Strong for a while. That was pretty good.
You know what they should be doing? To be honest, we were talking about Scorpio Sky not being in creative purgatory. Bring Frankie back.
Reunite them.
Reunite SCU. Have them be next trios shit, or even Ring of Honor.
Right.
6-man.
I agree.
You know what? Ring of Honor, because technically they made a pact that SCU couldn't reunite. So
in AEW.
So make them do it in
Ring of Honor, right? I agree.
Okay, if so, whoever's watching this, bring them. Tell Tony Khan this idea. Someone who's a friend of 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 Tony Khan. Anyway,
right. SCU back in Ring of Honor.
I would love to see that. You guys enjoy your stupid bowl, and
my God, hater! Oh, I plan on it.
Let's go Eagles, guys.
Yeah,
it's been fun. We'll do this in a couple weeks as we always do. We'll hit up on Revolution as it gets closer, as it's more advertised. We'll do a real preview on that.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
Yeah,
happy birthday, RJ Show.
Thursday.
Oh, Thursday. I like it. Happy Thursday.
Well, that's how I always did it with my radio shows. I would always focus on myself.
It's all about you. I'm just kidding. But
yeah, that's kind of the idea.
That's the way to do it. So it's been fun, guys. On that note, I think we've covered all the key points. Happy birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday, RJ. I hope 85 is great to you.
Oh my God!
I mean, no. If Rod is 85, then I'm 98.
Rod's 60.
Oh my God!
80. Last time we did the Rod's birthday show on this program,
I did say 80. I can't remember.
82, 85.
Oh yeah, we actually figured out he was born. Yeah, he's old.
So that makes me 98, even though I'm like 2 years older than him.
Yeah, so you're 98. You're both old timers. AARP knocking on both your doors.
You'll be getting up there soon enough.
All right.
I'm telling you, I'm already getting letters from AARP.
That's funny. All right, guys, it's been fun. We will see you guys in a few weeks. As always, gents, we are just too sweet.